Today, I journey through the world of Traveler's Rest, where I get the masses drunk, feed them hundreds of kebabs, and whack them with my broom. I start my journey with the character creation. I take hours perfecting a character that fits me, that shows who I am inside the game, who I want to be. Just kidding, I hit the randomize until I found something I liked, then I went on with my life. I like this. This is kind of cool. Alright, maybe now first impressions. I then loaded into the game and was greeted by a welcome sign explaining how the game was in early access and still being developed based on feedback. I then was instructed on how to move and enter decoration mode, where I was able to set up my first table and benches to give the people what they wanted. Gruel. But before that, the people needed to see, so I had to also place a candle on top of the table. With the table and candle set up now, I was finally able to serve my first customer some gruel. Wait, where's my customers though? Oh, there's someone. Hey person, how you doing? Hey, there's two people! Alright, so I gotta be pretty much behind the bar and press E to serve. Yeah, everyone's getting gruel. Hell yeah. With the first set of customers served, I was able to place an extra table down and had a quest to serve another 8 gruel out. I also learned that I had to clean up after my patrons while they were eating. Alright, now I gotta wait for people to come in. Why do I... Man. Kinda look a little dingy. I mean, I'm like an old balding man. You know, gotta serve the good food. Hey, another customer. How you doing, sir? There you go, some gruel for you. Hello, sir. Gruel. Gruel. Maybe. I might be. You don't know yet. Is this gonna be one of those things where I can serve you different hamburgers made of certain meats? Alright, but first I gotta clean, you know. Okay, let me wipe down this table for you guys while you're still eating on it. Through my hard work and dedication, I was rewarded with porridge and grog for the tavern. I then learned how to pour a drink and receive compliments in return. More grog. With cold drinks served and hot porridge being served, I was rewarded with an axe. While I waited for the last call to end, I was exploring around inside the tavern and tried to hurry up the people eating. Then I went searching for some trees to cut down. Yeah, some of you look a little dusty. Let me clean you guys up. Alright, I gotta go find a tree. Oh, there's some trees. The first tree of the session. Following the quest, I obtained a sawmill, pickaxe, smelter, anvil, and a stump with an axe. I had to make some room for all these new things. So probably gotta clear this entire area. I then reopened the tavern for some late night patronage and also turned on the fireplace. What if I just put 10 wood in there? With reaching milestone 1, the tech tree opened up to me and I took a quick peek. I also learned that I had to quest for some nails. So now I can look at the tech tree. Interesting. Earned from crafting. Okay, so this is like Graveyard Keeper, where you gotta have certain things. To get certain things you need this cast. Oh, wait, when did this quest pop up? Unless there's something special about this thing I don't know about. With the nails finally completed, I went exploring around the tavern and found the mailbox to make orders. I think this chest. I can order items for my tavern, so I got 43. So I can either order a bunch of stuff. So for brewing, food. Oh, so I can make. So if I want to make my own food, this is where I do it. Farming, crafting stuff, furniture. I can get a cat bed, a Q spacer, decor. There's a cat bowl. Alright, where's my cat? With collecting from the sawmill, I realized I accidentally made a small bench instead of a small table. What's a fucking bench? What the fuck? I thought that was a table. Hey. Okay, so if it has a quest on it, oh god damn it. With a race against time, I tried to make the table before 3 a.m. Like a lot of trees, iron bars. I don't think I'm gonna make it. No, I'm not gonna make it. I got 5 minutes left. Oh, I'm gonna make it a bed though. Come on. Oh, I gotta make my bed fucking pitch. No, I gotta make my own bed. Alright, so I just failed to sleep. That's great. With failing to make the table and sleeping on my first day, I started the next day finishing the table and opening the tavern for some money. I then collected the table, which gave me access to the crafting room, which I also had to pay for. Thankfully, with running the tavern, I barely made enough money to buy it. Hey, who's making a mess here? Why are you all making messes? I can unlock the crafting room. I need 4. I guess I could buy it. Oh. Okay. With the crafting room unlocked, I was able to make my own porch. I went around collecting some resources and made a small bench for the new table. Collect that. Buy a wall calendar. With the quest given to buy a wall calendar for 80 silver, I went to work putting the new things into place. But I then noticed that the candles don't last forever and have been slowly getting smaller. Okay, that's how you do it. Wait, are they dying? Oh, they are. Oh, shit. In the evening, I closed up shop and went about trying to make my own alcohol with the malted barley and my first serving of porridge. Okay, so this is done. With the malted barley made into mild wort, I was finally able to fermentate my own alcohol for the masses. I also collected some resources and started exploring north, where I met some nice miners, but it looks like none of them wanted to talk to me. Can I go up here? I can. Oh, okay. Hello. Who would prefer also there? So there's a bunch of miners. On the next day, I collected all my things from the kitchen, which included my first keg of ale. But best of all, a cat decided to join the tavern. Hey, oh wait. It's a big ass white cat. When did I get a cat? Like it just randomly showed up. Alright, let's do my orange one, because I have an orange cat named Cooper. I can pet the cat. With the cat happy, I went out to get my first taste of farming, where I was able to plant some corn and wheat. Gave the cat one more pet, then opened the tavern. That's a lot of reputation. After running the tavern, I queued up some things for the sawmill and did some reorganizing of the tavern. I then remembered the quest to buy a wall calendar and finally bought one, which gave me the workshop for cutting stone. After gathering some resources, I went south and met some farm animals. I then met Holly and Buzz with their 2 kids. I learned that this family will be taking care of my animal needs, where Buzz will handle the construction and Holly with the animal related stuff. There's cows. Nice. The dragon's cave is nearby. Who are you? Oh, I can just invade people's houses? Cool. Oh wait, I could talk. Oh, this is where you buy meat. Oh, okay. Well, for an egg, can I buy an animal? Shelter. If you build a barn. All right, so if I want to get something built. There he is. Hey, buddy. Oh, so I gotta bring. What is that? I don't even know what that is. I don't have enough money. Okay, that's fine for now. But okay. Buzz and his farm animals. Cool. I learned about farming. After an exciting talk with the family, I collected some things from my workshop area, my wall calendar, and an extra bucket I bought. I also learned how to make bread and soup, and set up another bench and table. With my day fulfilled, I went off to bed. The next morning, I did some light resource gathering and opened the tavern, but through the day, I guess some patrons weren't happy with the porridge I made, so I had to shoo them away with my broom. By the time I closed, I had earned about 1 gold coin. I then learned about the high prices of the shop, but being the only shop in town, I was forced to use it. It's 10? 1 barley is 10 silver? Oh my god. I bought some more crops, a nice water bowl, and a bed for the cat. While waiting for the items to be delivered, I kept exploring north, where I met a nice guy in ice. He was just chilling there, so I named him Craig. I saw a turkey and tried to interact with it, but I couldn't figure out how, so I just went around gathering all the resources near Craig. Is that a turkey? Can I do anything? Not really, I guess. Found a guard that wouldn't let me through, and a mango tree, which is nice. With the items delivered, I put the cat bowl and bed in the bedroom, so Cooper the cat had somewhere nice to sleep, added another ale to be served, and off to bed I went. In the morning, I saw a nice sight, Cooper the cat actually sleeping in his bed, so I gave him a quick pet. My crops were finally fully grown, so I harvested and replanted what I had. With the harvesting completed, I gained a new item called the grinder, which allowed me to make flour, ground meat, and breadcrumbs. With that setup, I finally went on to look for the food prep table, which would allow me to make bread. So I went searching through the craftables, thought maybe Buzz could build it. I even ran further south, where I gathered some oranges and met Bob and Nugget, who are looking for Bob's father and run a little shop together. They sell basic resources. I then went back and invaded Buzz's home looking for some goodies. Sadly, they had none. You guys go inside their home. Can I... Back at the tavern, I put on some porridge to cook and some malted barley to malt. Ran the tavern for a bit for some extra cash. I also found the food prep table finally in the mailbox shop. Alright, finally I can get this food prep table. Costs 80 silver, but hopefully it'll look good. With the food prep table delivered, the kitchen was actually looking to be more like a kitchen. But to make the bread I oh so crave, I would need yeast and flour. So I made some corn flour with the grinder. I also learned about the potatoes, apples, and pears. Took a look at the shop to see the prices of all the new crops. I've also been making a bunch of smooth stone to make a mortar and pestle, which does nothing but looks cool, so a great use of resources. I ran around doing some resource collecting and bought ale yeast and bitter hops for the alcohol production. Now, I did reach reputation level 3 a while ago. I just finally decided to look at the character upgrades, so I spent all my EXP on upgrades. Day 6, ran the tavern, gathered resources, and kept going with the tavern / food production in the back. Learn how to make mead. Learn that Holly doesn't work on the weekends. Where the heck is she? Wait, did she leave? Are you back here? Is this because it's Saturday? Are you guys closed on Saturday? Is that even a thing? Oh wait, just... Bought some fish from the shop along with wine yeast, a couple of extra kegs, and some honey for the meat production. Making sure to always pet the cat and keep producing from the workshops in front. Got fancy with the porch by adding some honey. Finally got the hint that you could put multiple ingredients into recipes to increase the price. Made my first soup with just raw fish, which was an interesting recipe. Bought my first set of fruit trees. Added a new set of porridges and soups to the stockpile. With day 7 rolling around, I got to planting the new fruit trees. Took an actual look at the description of the sawmill items and learned that the plank stockpile will actually increase the number of planks made in that sawmill area, so I made one, of course. I guess at some point I also made a birdhouse with all the processing I was doing, hoping that a bird will come and live in it. Ran the tavern and the new items were a big hit, allowing me to hit reputation 4, which unlocked quests. So I immediately went to take a look, and it's all about setting up an Uber Eats shop for people. So I accepted the bread one since I thought it would be the easiest to do. collected my fully grown barley and wheat, which I would need for that new quest. Bought some more seeds, learned simple stoneworks and basic iron casting. Made some more planks to then turn into a plank stockpile to help with making more planks. I also learned basic construction, giving me access to the mortar and oven recipe. Learned that the recipe book holds all the different recipes I would need without having to go into the corresponding workshop item. So that'll save me a lot of time instead of running around. I still run around a lot. I then got the great idea to make a second oven for some reason, so I went about gathering all the necessary stone to make it. Said hello again to Craig. Set up a bunch of iron to smelt. I funnily enough made my bed right before getting into it to sleep, which I think is a funny concept since I don't know if it does actually do anything for me. With day 8, added in a second brazier to make it symmetrical at the door. Set a bunch of nails to be made. I finally made some bread dough that I've been working towards for so long. Made some soup with the raw fish, barley, and wheat, which sounds pretty appetizing. Made the first bread of the game, cornbread. Then made mead with a mixture of apple, mango, and bitter hops, boosting the sale price to a whole 48 silver, which is way up from the 23 normally. I don't know why I wasted a bunch of resources to make a second brewing barrel. I thought it was going to be different, but nope, it's the same. Learned that gin could be made, but I first had to learn wine. Thinking I had some extra monies to spend, I bought some pork and eggs from Holly. Even though I learned winemaking, I couldn't get the grapes since I had to learn the berries tech, which the grapes are under. I don't even have the stuff to make it. No. Dang it. Oy. So I had to grind up a few points and finally learn about berries. I then went and bought a bunch of berry seeds to expand the farm. Turned in my bread quest that's been sitting there. And upgrading my farming level with the extra EXP. Day 9. Had to clear a new area up for the grape seeds since they take up a 3x2. Also planted the raspberry seeds. Bought some extra blueberry seeds since I was in a farming mood. Then gathered a bunch of basic resources and made some more food. I also finally gathered enough resources to make an oven. Used some of the meat and made an expensive soup with pork. In the morning, I decided it was time to make some more money. So, ran the tavern until about 1600, netting in about 3 extra gold. Decided to rearrange the kitchen to help accommodate a second oven, even though I could barely keep the first one going, but you know, future investment. Decided to also make a chest for the kitchen and learn that workshop areas can all access the same chest. I was now able to dump all the kitchen ingredients into the chest. I also decided that I wanted some footpaths, so I made some stone ones and made a little path to the southern stairs. Did a little more reorganizing where I can access the top of the tables to clean without having to run to the side. Bought a lot of fish and kitchen yeast. Decided it was time to spruce up the interior and bought some plants. Lastly, another chest for the metalwork area. Made and added a number of different dishes to the tavern. Also collected my first set of raspberries and blueberries, which grew pretty fast. Took a look at the T-posing grapes since I wasn't expecting them to T-pose on me. Picked up my order of items for the tavern and got directly to decorating the tavern. Now, I'll just straight up say it, I'm a guy that likes functionality, if you couldn't already tell from my kitchen. So I just stacked the plants in a corner since they still gave me the comfort bonus without getting in the way. Made some new porridge with the fresh berries I picked, hoping the patrons liked it. Finally got around to making another large bench for the table with no chairs. With the delivery of crops, I got straight away to planting them. Also realized I was running out of trees for wood, so I decided to make the bottom right part area a tree farm. Tried to learn distilling, which would give me access to gin. Unfortunately, I had to be reputation level 12 to access it, which sucks. So instead, I learned about peaches, citrus, and simple metalworks. Made a couple more paths to finish off the bottom part of the path. Explore this spooky part of the map, which has nothing from what I can see. This might possibly hold a character event or something in the future. Added in 2 benches for the table and just made a bunch of food the rest of the time. Lastly, I also accepted and finished a request as one last thing for the night. Decided it was time to put that stockpile of food to good use, so opened up the tavern early. When I hit reputation 5, I closed the tavern since I got an interesting item, the magic broom, which cleans up any floor messes for you. Checked up on the plants and saw that they were coming in nicely, gathered, processed, and cleaned up some extra farming tiles. Forgot to mention, but at some point I reached the maximum heart with the cat, which is very nice. Added a new keg to the tap, and turned in a quest for mild ale, which turns out also pays you a bit. Today was harvesting day, as all the crops decided it was time to bear fruit. Didn't know this, but strawberries don't disappear on the first harvest, and neither do the grapes. I was feeling very adventurous, so I bought a bunch of new fruit trees to add to the stockpile. With the grapes finally harvested, I started turning them into mush for wine. Added to the little path around the well, I started and threw a couple north. Dug places for the new fruit trees. Made my first wine juice. Upgraded the small chest to a large one. Planted some more and bought some more seeds to experiment with. Day 14, started the day by collecting things from the kitchen and starting my first bottle of wine with lots of fruit additives. Made sure today's stock was in order. Planted some juniper bushes, turned in some bread. Learned that cheeseburgers was a thing, and as an American, you know, of course, I went straight for it. Also learned how to make Lagers and checked out the recipe. So to make a cheeseburger, you have to know cheese, but to make cheese, you have to research it at the very end, which kind of sucks. So another thing to work towards. Also finished the path on this day, which is very nice. Bought also a couple jars to make jam. Did some things in the kitchen and harvested from the farm. Then I went west past Buzz's farm and found some citrus trees, which was a nice find. Is that a lemon and lime tree? Dang, there's a free stuff over here. And then bought some milk from Holly. Dang, it's kind of expensive. Let's buy 2. Upgraded my bartending and made my first raspberry jam with some bread since I was working towards toast. Turned some milk into butter. planted more seeds, made raspberry jam toast, which means new items for the tavern. Turned in another keg quest, accumulated some points so I learned about porters, wheat beers. I made some incense burners to make the tavern smell a little nicer. Turned barley into dark malted barley for the ports. To keep stock up in the tavern, I made a bunch of mixed fruit porridge. The next day, nothing too exciting was happening. I did some harvesting, rebuying what I harvested, and running the tavern. Learned lighting, simple copper works, and basic copper smelting, furniture, made lots of food, and ran the tavern. With reaching tavern level 6, I was able to hire workers who would run parts of the tavern for me, which means more time to making food and alcohol. Made pickled fish with potatoes and carrots. Yum. First harvest of juniper berries, learned roasting, ran the tavern, gathered resources, and made more food and drink. Finally found a use for copper, so I made a bunch of golden incense and lamps. I reached tavern level 7, which gave me access to brewing equipment, but best of all, construction mode. And room rentals for guests. I also collected from the fruit trees, made things in the workshop area, made a lot of progress through the tech tree. Unlocked tea, stew, sausages, pastas, pie, distillation, decorative armor, basic sculpting, stone construction. Lastly, I did a little decorating. I was finally able to rent out my first room. I then ran the tavern, made more food, and pretty much the same thing. Reputation level 8 and unlock trends. I have no idea what it even does, so I pretty much ignored it for the rest of my playthrough. Decided to decorate the tavern's rooms with a bunch of copper stuff to increase the comfort. Also tried my hand at haggling for the room price. Ooh, got it. Reputation 9. Oh, level 9. At this point, I'm just going to be skipping through days just because this game doesn't have a lot of content and it's a lot of repetitiveness of doing the same things. So on day 25 and 26, I reached Reputation level 10 where I unlocked the cellar where I can do wine and beer aging. And I threw in some cider to age. Also, it's the big day where I gathered enough money and materials to finally build the chicken coop. Day 27 through 29, I expanded the grape farm and at this point I mostly finished the tech tree, but was just waiting for higher level reputations to finally finish it. Also finally decided to add in another room, added in furniture to the second room so they all look the same. added more aging barrels, made more burgers. Reputation 11, so finally I can make cheese. Also noticed that the chicken coop was finally done, so added some fences around it. Took a look at the new options Buzz gave for the completed coop. Bought a couple of chickens from Holly and learned about how to take care of them. Oh, cool. Day 30 to 33, I completed another room and decorated it. Noticed that my fence was somehow keeping the chickens in, so I took it away because I like to watch the chickens roam. (34 to 35). At the very end of the day, I finally got to building the barn also. Day 36 to 39, I looked up an event where you can meet a certain merchant at a certain time, so I was waiting for him, and finally got the time to check him out. I talked to Crowley for a bit and bought one of the eggs since that was all the money I had, and all the accessories I would possibly need. My barn was finished and I was finally able to buy my first set of barn animals and learn how to take care of them from Holly. With day 40, it was time to just kick back, relax, and enjoy the days of the tavern. Also my parrot Hatch, who I promptly named Cool Dude since I couldn't think of a name. I also don't know what he really does, so he's here, and I'll just say that I'll be ending this series at this point. There is nothing really for me to work towards, and I don't want to really grind a bunch of things like upgrading the coop, the barn, making new rooms, adding aging barrels, expanding the tavern, and getting the parrot up to max smartness. It's a lot of grinding and repetitive works that I honestly want to spend on another game. Now when big updates come out, I will be for sure checking them out and probably adding on to my current tavern, but we will have to wait for those updates. Of course, if you want to check out this game, the Steam page will be in the description. Also be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hey, maybe even recommend a game. I have a couple games I want to do this series on that are finished and hopefully have enough content for the 100 days. But for now, we will be saying goodnight to this tavern. Thank you for watching.